Good morning and welcome to Doing Business with State and Local Agencies. This is the third part in a four-part series. We are very happy to have a whole host of panelists here from different state and local agencies. And I want to hand things over to them very quickly, but I'll just do a little quick spiel. And of those of you who have joined in the past two webinars in this series, or have seen other webinars, I get through it pretty quick, but sorry for the redundancy. I'm the program coordinator for Norcal PTAC, that's the Northern California Procurement Technical Assistance Center. We do one-on-one counseling, custom bid matching, and resources and trainings. The counseling and the bid matching are for clients, and in order to be a client, you have to be located in that green map on the right of the screen that you should see. And this map, these 15 counties, if you have a business that has a primary location there, you are in business and you have a business that's located there and you're interested in procurement, not grants or financing or something else, then you are very, very welcome to apply for our services at norcalptac.org. A little bit about us. We are a nonprofit organization. We're hosted by the Humboldt State Sponsored Programs Foundation, and we get most of our funding, grant funding, from the Defense Logistics Agency, as well as other state and local sources like GoBiz. And so we're used to dealing with government agencies, and we've got a lot of our contacts here, and we're happy to have folks that have joined. Hopefully you'll get something out of it today. I also want to note that we are one center among almost 100, about 94, 95 centers across the whole country. So if you're not in the service area, you can use that second link that you'll receive later today with the slides, and you can click to find your own country, your own county's PTAC. You are also welcome to just type in into your Google, find a PTAC, and then your county. That tends to work for me. All right, I'll go ahead and get started. Our facilitator today is Christina Jones. She is our lead procurement specialist at Norcal PTAC. So she'll be facilitating and putting some questions to the presenters, to the panelists. She's prepared some questions, but we will also be taking questions from the audience. And I think the way we like to do it is just to have you put out your questions on as soon as they come into your head in the Q&A, and then she'll pick through them, and ones that we have time to put to the presenters, we'll put them out there as well. So please don't be shy about asking questions. This is an interactive webinar, and we're very happy to hear you. And we're happy to have Christina Jones facilitating as well. So go ahead and take it away, Christina. Thanks.
Great. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining. If it's your first time, as James mentioned, or if it's if you continued with this, that's great. Also, hopefully you'll really enjoy today's session. It'll be really specific to helping you learn how to do business with state and local contracting, because of course the PTAC in general, we want you to be successful in contracting. So why not hear from those who are procuring these items, or also advocating for you as a small business as far as what are their needs and what they're looking for. So before we really dig into that, I want to start with just going around our virtual room with our procurement buyers and advocates, and just give us a brief, your name and the agency that you represent. And we can start with Adelaida. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong.
Oh, no problem. You can call me Ida.
Ida, sorry about that.
I'm Ida Caputo, Contracts Officer for the Golden Gate Bridge Highway and Transportation District.
Great, thank you. Artemis?
Hi, I'm Artemis A. Davenport. I'm the Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, known as DBE Program Administrator for the Golden Gate Bridge Highway and Transportation District. Welcome.
Thank you. And Bandolin. I don't think, can you hear me?
I wasn't sure if you said Brandolin or if you said mandolin. I can't tell if there's another.
No, I did. It's Bandolin?
It's Brandolin.
Brandolin.
Yeah.
I just went and changed the name.
No worries.
Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Brandolin, I'm sorry.
My name is Brandolin Trammell. I am the purchasing agent for the city of Santa Rosa. And I'm also here representing our centralized transit DBE program. Thanks for having me.
Great. And Wayne?
Hi, I'm Wayne Gross. I am a business outreach liaison for the Department of General Services, the entire state of California.
Great, thank you. And last but not least, Nina.
Hi and welcome. My name is Nina Martinez. I represent the California Department of Correction and Rehabilitation, also known as CDCR. I'm your statewide small business DBB advocate and happy to be here.
Great, thank you all. So what I'd like to do is, as James kind of mentioned, we will be going through some set questions that, I've developed as far as what to ask the agencies. And after each question, you can, of course, put your questions in the chat at any time, but the questions we'll answer after each question will relate directly to the question that the agencies have answered. And at the end, we'll conduct a full Q&A of anything that wasn't answered within these 9 questions that we're going to cover right now. Okay, so if we want, we will just go in the same order that we just did as far as introducing ourselves. And the first question is, provide a brief overview of your agency, what you procure on a regular basis, and what are some uncommon items, if there's anything that you purchase. And if you have a procurement forecast or anything of that nature, feel free to add in.
Okay, I'll start. The Golden Gate Bridge District operates and maintains the Golden Gate Bridge, the Golden Gate Transit Bus System, and the Golden Gate Ferry System. The district receives funds primarily from bridge tolls, transit fares, and federal, state, and local grants. What we procure on a regular basis are fuel, lubes and oil, engine parts for our bus and ferry divisions, paint for the bridge, steel for bridge maintenance, minor repair services for lifts, HVAC, and equipment for our shops. Some of the uncommon items that we procure are services of secret shoppers, who are people that ride our buses and ferries and report back to management about the experience. Other uncommon items are supplies for body recovery from the moat, such as rescue poles, floats, and throw ropes. And as far as the procurement forecast, I'll turn it over to Tima.
Hello, everyone. I did send James a host of materials that will have a list of some of the upcoming contracting opportunities for us. We don't have a whole lot going on. We do have a Larkspur ferry. Let's see if I get the name correct. Forgive me. We do have a toll gantry, and that one I remember. Some landscaping services, I believe. Let me pull it up. I'm sorry. James does have a list, so I know I'm not remembering everything, but you will get materials at the end of this event, I believe, that has that list of upcoming opportunities for us. I'm not fast enough to pull this up. I thought I had everything pulled up, so
it's not a problem if you just had a few items you thought of that you wanted to mention. But yes, everyone will receive any materials that have been provided to James as far as forecast materials or any other marketing materials that the agencies have. But if there is something that you knew was on the forecast that you wanted to bring up, that now would be a great time, but not required to run down the whole list.
I got it. I just found it. Okay.
Okay. All right.
We do have a toll plaza administration building elevator repair and improvements that's coming out late summer. Again, our toll gantry project. We do have some concession services for onboard district ferries, and the Larkspur Ferry Terminal berth and channel maintenance dredging design, PAL design, and permitting services. I believe there's about 5 more days for that contract, for that RFP. And then we will have a San Rafael parking lot and solar panel improvement project coming up. And again, James will have that list so you guys can refer back to. That's all I have.
Okay.
I've also included a couple links in the chat for all of those who are curious to see those as well, to the website and procurement.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, who's next? You've kind of shifted as far as my view. How about Brandolyn?
I will go ahead and go. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't going to step on anyone's toes there.
Okay.
The city of Santa Rosa is actually the largest city within Sonoma County. As a centralized division, we purchase everything for the city with the exception of capital improvement projects, which we have around $41 million section there this year, and what's denoted as professional services. So if you're a consultant, an engineer, an artist, those procurements you will often find on our e-bidding website. It is free to you. That will be in the links later on your website, planetbids.com. You can also Google how to do business with the city of Santa Rosa, California. And you will see my face with much longer hair and you will know you're in the right place. And so major procurements go up on that website. Again, that is a free service. So if for some reason you're being asked to pay for that service, you are in the wrong link. Currently, we are working on buying generators with a FEMA grant. You'll be seeing that bid reissued soon. It was actually out for a month and we had no respondents. So we're doing a little work on that bid right now. I also have an independent police auditor posted, and we really, as a centralized team, buy everything for the city, from canoes to ammunition to fire trucks. You name it, it has basically come through our system. We also manage the centralized warehousing divisions for the city. So there is the PPE, all fire and emergency related coordination, including, how to set up cooling centers, doing security on site, helping with homelessness cleanup. And we have around 1,200 SKUs, so actual products on the shelf there for centralized services throughout the city, everything from toilet paper to fuels, like previously mentioned. And I think that kind of sums it up.
Okay, looks like we have a couple of agencies looking for fuels. And I wanted to point out here, you mentioned about signing up for Planet Bids, and that, yes, many agencies use, they may have the bids advertised through Cali Procure, but they may also, use another portal like Planet Bids or Public Purchase or something like that. So if you go to their site and you see bid opportunities and you sign up through their site, it should be free to you, as Brandolyn mentioned. So they may try to sell you other things as far as tease you with other bids, say, see these bids, but to see the bids for these, for any county or city that has that link on their site, those bids are free to you. Okay, I just wanted to point that out. All right, who's next? I have to call someone out. All right, how about you, Wayne?
Okay. Anyway, again, Wayne Gross, and I represent the state of California, which is the 5th largest economy in the world. So the question is, what don't we buy? We, you name it, we buy it. And for those people who are creating things that, have never been purchased before, we have a list of advocates that I can give you. And let's say it's a new cone for Caltrans, their orange cones that they put out. I'd give you the advocate for headquarters. And then you get on your way of marketing to them and them test driving your product. And then you become one of their they are buying from you. As far as what's out there, the easiest thing that I can tell you is if you copy down this email or this link, it's DGS, cdc.ca.gov. I'll put it in the chat also. And in the search engine, put upcoming solicitations. And once a month, at the beginning of each month, we post what DGS is working on. And so we give you a point of contact, their information, so that if you have a question, especially if it says, well, it's going to go out on the 10th, and here it is the 12th, and you don't see anything, you've got a reference point. You can contact that person and say, hey, what's going on? And then find out the reason why it wasn't posted. That's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it.
Without
Okay.
going into real specifics.
Well, many of you probably, if you've been, reviewing any of the state of California opportunities, you've probably attended one of Wayne Gross's presentations, and he's very thorough, as you may have observed. And also, I'd like to say that he also helps a lot of clients. I hear from clients, PTAC clients that work with him individually to just kind of help navigate what works, where their product fits with the state. So he's really a good resource. And also, as you mentioned, the small business advocates, which you will hear from one of them next. But the small business advocates also are very important to know, especially with the state business. So with that,
may I plug myself
you
real
may.
quick? Okay, if you are a certified small business and or disabled veteran business enterprise and have not listened or have not contacted me about updating your profile, because you have two profiles in Cali Procure and most people don't even know that, I guarantee that I can help you get more solicitations. I will help you in marketing yourself and show you different avenues where hopefully I can put some money in your wallet. And I've been doing this for 13 years. And most people go, where were you 3 years ago when I got certified or whatever? But my job is to help you, is to market you, to show you how the state does it. So
Wayne, your phone's going to be ringing off the hook.
good. Job security.
That's right.
And I'll put that information also in the chat.
Okay. All right. So moving on, our small business advocate, Nina Martinez, if you can share what your agency's by.
Again, it's Nina Martinez, the statewide small business DBV advocate, and for CDCR. And CDCR has 34 institutions. We have 2 closings, so keep that in mind. And we have 3 juvenile facilities. We have an IT. We have a medical facility. So we have a lot. Think about with CDCR, what do we buy? That's probably a big question. But the answer should be, what don't we buy? Because we're a little city, so we buy a lot. So some of the regular things that we buy, think about it. Toilet paper and paper towels. We need it. Roofing supplies, anything in construction, medical and office supplies, food, because we have to feed the inmates. So that's either, that could be frozen foods, bakery items. So think outside the box. Some of the uncommon items that most people don't think of is veterinarian services, because we have canine dogs. We need food for them. Condoms, that's one big thing people don't think about. There was a law that was passed, so we have to provide inmates with condoms. Legal representation, which is we need attorneys. And why do we need attorneys? Well, think about it. And then the other thing is cremation services. So those are some of the uncommon things people don't think about. The procurement forecast, I really can't give you that yet because the new fiscal year has just came out. So I just requested that. So I should have that in 30 days. I'll make sure that you have my email. So if you have that question and you want that information, I'll have that provided to you. And also it will be on our website, hopefully in the next 30 to 60 days.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Also, Nina also does a circuit a lot of times with Wayne. So if you've heard Wayne, you might have heard Nina. And yes, it's the prisons buy most everything. So I've heard of some very uncommon things when I've attended some of the sessions that she's where she's did an overview. So have we covered everyone for the first question? I'm just going across my panel. I believe we have. Okay, great. So we're moving on. Oh, let's see what questions we have directly related to the question that was asked. So the first one is directed towards Artemis. May I know where, did you see, I'm not sure you see the question, but it's, may I know where to find invitations to bids for janitorial services and pressure washing services in the city of San Rafael? And this is from Claudia.
Okay, hi Claudia. So for Golden Gate, you would be able to find those opportunities. We do request or issue RFP for our janitorial services. And Ida, you might correct me. I believe we are in our 5th year or 4th year? I'm not sure with our janitorial contract. But you would find that on Bonfire. So we do post our solicitations on Bonfire procurement portal, as well as if you register as a vendor and be in our vendor database for any of those other services that we might not submit a RFP, but we might, request a quote for informal. If you register as a vendor, your information would be in our database. So that's just specific for Golden Gate. So we only cover our transit division is in San Rafael. Of course, our bridge is in San Francisco, and our ferry location is in Larkspur. But for the city of San Rafael, that's something different. I'm not sure, but for Golden Gate, that's how you would be notified of janitorial. And I believe, was it window washing or pressure washing? I think was.
Yeah, it was janitorial services and pressure washing services in the city of San Rafael.
Yeah, so for Golden Gate, log on to Bonfire, and I believe James put in the chat the link to our website, which is goldengate.org. And if you click on doing business, you'll see to the left, there will be a link to register as a vendor.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Specific to the janitorial question, you can give me a call and I can check when it's going to expire, and I'll put my phone number on the chat.
Okay, great. There's one other question, and I'm not sure how this applies across the group, but I'll read it and you let me know. This question is from Maisha. With consulting, do any of the organizations, or I'm going to say agencies here, collaborate for events that support Black women-owned businesses? So I'm thinking.
I would say currently for the city of Santa Rosa, we have collaborated with the local Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. And that has been the only outreach that we have been able to achieve due to the coronavirus, to be quite honest. I know that we just hired a diversity specialist to work in the city. And so we should be seeing events soon for not only women, but women of color and general small disadvantaged business and people of color. So look forward to that. Hopefully there will be a space on the city website, but that person just started in the past few weeks and we're not back into the offices yet. So I look forward to it.
Thank you. Anyone else have a comment?
Well, for CDCR, the state works with all diversities, but we only recognize the certification of the small business, DBBE, Public Works, but we will work with everyone. You just need to make sure you get your certification that the state recognizes.
So I'll speak up for Golden Gate. We do have a disadvantaged business enterprise DBE program and a small business enterprise SBE program. And our SBE program accepts 8A certification, of course, DGS, their certification for small, micro, and small business for the purpose of public works certification, and any other small business or women-owned certification by government entities. And so we do, I think I might touch on this a little bit later, but we do the Golden Gate is in partnership with the Business Outreach Committee, known as the BOC, and that's about 26 Bay Area transit agencies that we conduct outreach. And again, all of our, we have, all the agencies have different certifications that they accept, but we do outreach to all, Black, Hispanic, all different types of ethnicities. But, something specific, I believe that's one of the, that question is down the line. One of the challenges is finding Black and women-owned businesses to do business with. And so I guess I'll touch on that when that question comes up.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to move through these next couple of questions.
Can I add something real quick?
Sure.
This is Wayne again. Anyway, the California Public Utilities Commission, they recognize not only our small business and DV certifications, but they have their own program for disadvantaged business enterprises to include women-owned and minorities. And so if you go to their website, cpuc.ca.gov, you can get more information on that. And obviously they have targets, just like the state does. We have a 25% small business goal and a 3% DVBE goal. And depending on which certification you're talking about, for example, minority might be 13% of their contracts have to go to minorities or women or the LGBTQ community. So
I might also add that I believe this, the attendee was looking for, to collaborate on events. So that may be, outside of the certification piece, collaborating on events.
Yeah, but the thing is, you would want to talk to the advocate at the CPUC so that, here again, it's all about communication. And so they would know about different events that they would be holding for minorities, women-owned, whatever.
Okay, great.
Could I sneak one thing in there about that, just real quick? If you contact me, these are the type of things that the Business Outreach Committee does. If you're looking for an event for us to host that is Black owned or minority owned or women owned, we could create an outreach event and do that as part as helping small and minority businesses. That's something that we could coordinate with you. So reach out to me and we can talk more about that.
Okay, great. Because in interest of time, and we've only covered one question, I want to move through these a little quicker. So, I'll answer just a couple of more to make, if they're really specific. So I'll hold for the direct opportunities question because there's going to be a list of forecast questions. Pamela asked Nina to direct her with whom she can speak with about potential opportunities for barcode and RFID tracking opportunities. So reach out to Nina directly for that. Nikita is asking, she's stating, we provide transitional housing services for reentry, over 160 beds available, and we are having a hard time getting funding for our program. Most contracts are being given to larger companies. So Nina, do you want to comment briefly on that one?
Can you repeat that again? I'm sorry.
It's Nikita says her company provides transitional housing services for reentry, over 160 beds available, and they're having a hard time getting funding for our program. Most of the contracts seem to be given to larger companies.
Well, with the funding portion, we don't work with that, but I can tell you that our DRP program, which is, I just went blank on it, but our DRP program, I'm doing the acronym all the time. We do have that program, which I can connect you with. So you can talk to them in regarding their transitional housing program for the inmates or / parolees. Send me an email, and then what I can do is I can give you the link and the information and the contact directly for you to talk to them.
Okay, great, thank you. Okay, let's move on to question 2. And we'll go in the same order that we've been going. What is the best way for a vendor to build a relationship with your agency? If it involves sending a capability statement, what are next steps to make it more likely that a vendor can secure a contract?
Okay. The best way would be to register in the district's procurement portal, as Tima mentioned, by visiting ggbhtd.bonfire.com. The link for this is also provided in the chat. Once a vendor is registered, they will receive notifications of upcoming contract opportunities. Another way would be to review the How to Do Business Guide. This is available in the district's website at goldengate.org. The link for this is also provided in the chat, and a copy will be provided to attendees afterwards. After the vendor reviews the guide, he or she should then determine the appropriate buyer for the commodity or service that he or she provides. The vendor can introduce himself or herself to that buyer and provide information on their offerings. As far as the capability statement, vendor cannot secure a contract by sending a capability statement. He or she can provide their company information to the appropriate buyer or to Tima, who will then share the information to the procurement staff. Tima, do you have anything to add?
Nope, I think you said it all.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay.
And just very briefly for us as well, planetbids.com is where to go for the city of Santa Rosa. You can specifically put a vendor registration in there to either select certain commodities and categories so you get an auto notification, or click the button to get every and all notifications. And remember to, Christina had a very good comment about the fact that you can register. You should be able to register for free. We see many small businesses go ahead and sign up for a bid buy board or a subscription service. You may not get all of the bidding information if you sign up for a subscription service. It is helpful, but it is not the actual link to our site. So we see that a lot. Same answer as the first answer. We don't accept vendor statements of qualification. The best thing to do is just keep yourself listed on Planet Bids and looking for those opportunities directly.
Okay, thank you. Wayne?
Okay, I think everyone can relate to this quote. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And so I've just added on the chat our caleprocure.ca.gov website. On the bottom right is a box that says find training. You click it and you go to the 5th heading, which is research and marketing, and click the second bullet, which is our advocate list. And once you go there, the whole idea is to start building relationships with the different agencies. And so to prepare yourself, you want to have a capability statement. That's a resume. I can help you with it. I highly recommend that if you do call me, that's part of my training that I'll give you. And the other is the 30-second elevator speech. Okay, all the people on that list have been trained by either myself or my peers in, when the phone rings, their automatic reaction is piece of paper and pencil, because you're going to give them your 30-second elevator speech. 30-second elevator speech, your full name, company name, your supplier ID number, and what you sell. If you can't impress them in 30 seconds, an hour conversation is pretty moot. So.
Well said, thank you. All right, Nina.
Well, for CDCR, first of all, we can never guarantee a contract. So we can never guarantee the securing a contract. However, well, we can help you and we can assist you and we can guide you, but we can't guarantee. So this is where things come into play. Listen closely. Make it easy breezy. Send an email to the CDC Advocates You can look on our website for that information, or you can look on the GGS website because we have it there. But prepare an email, easy breezy. On the subject line, put your company's name and your DGS state certification. Because that's the second thing on my emails I'm going to look for, because I'm going to look for my bosses first, and then I'll look for you secondly. So if I see that you're a small business and you're certified, I'm going to pick that email up immediately. Then in the body of the email, easy breezy again, and I'm going to use that a lot. Make it brief. Again, put your company's name, your certification number, your contact information. Put 5 bullet points of what your product and services are that you want to market to us or any state agency. Then you want to attach your 1-page capability statement. If you don't know how to do one, Wayne said it will help you. I can guide you on that also, because it's very important. If you have a 5-page one, really think about all the emails that we get, and really we're probably not going to look through it all. And it's like a resume. You want your points up there. You want to make sure it looks good. It's sharp. Shoot that email out. If you don't know where to get the Small Business Advocate list, send me an email. I have a list of all the institutions, facilities, and medical and IT that I mentioned earlier. So if you want any of that information, send me an email, but make it easy breezy when you want to market to not only my agency, but the other state agencies.
Great, thank you. And also I'll just add that the PTAC, we can also help you with, what you should do to build a relationship with an agency, what should be on your capability statement. We can help you review and provide feedback. So if you're already working with the council, are you considering signing up with our PTAC or another PTAC that can also assist you with those things? Particularly here in California, we have relationship with these agencies, so we can help assist with that. And I just want to go to the Q&A again really quickly. Someone asked about the panelists' contact information, which I believe that's all provided in the chat. The panelists have been posting that. Someone asked, they're freight brokers, Corey, and currently applying for our, I think he meant DVBE certification, the recommendation where we can get contracts. So that's very specific. We could definitely, again, help you at the PTAC as far as identifying contract opportunities that will fit with what you sell. Or if you heard with any of the panelists when they overviewed what they sell or what they're buying, you could, maybe, I'm not sure if anyone mentioned that there, but also on their pages, they'll have information. But again, we can always point you back to that if you're a PTAC client. Let's see.
May I add one more thing?
Sure.
Just to let you know that not only CDCR, but the other state agencies, we use Procure. So if you want to know what we've been buying, all that information is there. You want to know what our upcoming solicitations are, what's out there for the bidding opportunities, go look on Procure, and CDCR's department code is 5225. And then you can look at just specifically CDCR. And I would have somebody look at it on a daily basis because it changes all the time.
Okay, great point. Thank you. Yes, you can go to Cal Procure and go to the Fiscal page and conduct some research, as Nina mentioned, based by agency codes. You can use keywords. You can use UNSPSC codes, just some of the ways you can search for opportunities there. So let's move on to question 3. In the new virtual environment, has anything changed in regard to how to do business with your agency? Have there been any changes like what we're doing today? We're doing a virtual panel where we would normally have that in person. And do you anticipate any of these changes to be permanent, or are they temporary?
Even prior to COVID, we implemented the procurement portal and bonfire. Interested vendors no longer had to submit originals and hard copies of their bids or proposals for a competitive procurement. They can now submit their bids or proposals electronically. Our pre-proposals are now conducted via Microsoft Teams instead of in person. Also, our bid openings are now conducted via Microsoft Teams instead of in person. And we anticipate it to be everything to be permanent as far as how we're doing things.
Okay, great.
I just want to mention also with outreach, again, through the Business Outreach Committee, the BOC, the 26 Bay Area transit agencies, we conduct outreach, and we have been utilizing Cisco WebEx and Zoom for our events. And so it has changed. Obviously, the pandemic has changed how we conduct outreach. I really feel like in person is so much more better. However, virtual, we've been able to gain a lot of participation because you don't have to travel. So it's very convenient. But I do recommend that with the various platforms that have been used, to familiarize yourself, because I know you miss out because of your technology or your devices, or you don't know how to get connected to attend some of these events. So for the BOC, we do use Zoom, Cisco WebEx, and Microsoft Teams.
Okay, great. Thank you. Brandon? Or looks like.
I just feel like I want to echo that sentiment that we have the same situation. We'd been on Planet Bids for probably 4 years before the pandemic happened. We'd like to get away from any and all paper processes. That's posed some challenges around our legal team and their feeling on electronic signatures and bonding and certain things like that. So make sure to read your solicitations, make sure that you're following the instructions, and make sure that you're looking for things like the Q&A opportunities during solicitation processes. Most of the work that we do is primarily lowest responsive bids. So it's important that your numbers are lean and mean. And, with RFPs, that you're reading the information and ensuring that you are answering the questions and that you understand what you're being scored upon. And if you have questions, they're usually a window to ask.
So I know Ada mentioned like their meetings, like the pre-bid meetings and all of that will be virtual. Will that be, as far as like workshops, in-person, vendor outreach events, pre-bid meetings, would that be, I would like to know from all of you, will those things continue to be virtual, or will they, you intend to move some of those back in person?
This is Wayne. I'm saying we are getting notified by different agencies that we've done previously, in person. They want to go back to that, including DGS. Okay. And so kind of like, look at our calendar. I know that we'll put in person on them. Yes, the webinars are good to a point, but for me personally, I've been doing this for 13 years, and I'm sorry, but I love having a crowd staring at me. You know what I mean? That personal touch. I mean, yeah. You can't get away from that. Right. This is nice with what we're doing. But, to be able to, oh, we're time's up. Well, yes, I may spend another hour after, an event talking to people because, everyone has their own situation, and, and I'll take the time to, stay there and help them and guide them wherever I can. So.
Okay, great. Nina?
Well, during this pandemic, it's been an adventure, let me say. So I've learned a lot with different platforms, Cisco, Teams, WebEx, Zoom. There probably is a lot more. I have to say it took me a little bit because I'm more personable. And like Wayne said, I like the one-on-one or talking in person, the more personal touch. So I do miss that a lot. So I'm looking forward to some of the openings. But yeah, I missed that. But I mean, I'm getting used to this, but I'm not going to get used to where I don't want to go out there in the field. So I know there's like 3 events that I have been asked to participate that are coming up in the between now and the end of the year. And those are some in-person events. Those can change. And then we also have to look at it depending on your agency. Like right now, they're looking at the budget. They're looking at is it safe for us to go out there and travel? So right now I've put in my request, can I travel? Can I go here? And right now I'm just going to say, we got a memo stating that there's no travel at this point. But again, I'm pushing it because I would love to see everybody out there in person. So just give us some time, be patient, because we're just going by what our orders are, but we do miss you out there. And but there's emails, there's other platforms. And if you can get to participate on these other outreach events right now on the virtual form, do that and make that contact with us. Because if this is the only way we can do it at the moment, let's do it. Let's embrace it. Let's do what we got to do so we can stay safe out here.
Okay, well, the only thing I'm going to add really quickly to that is to take advantage, though, of the virtual events. As far as, you know, those of you who are in other locations, you can attend events that may be too expensive for you to travel to. So there is some advantage there, but of course the in-person is, I agree, is really great. It's you know, you can kind of feel the crowd, and people make a connection. And it's like, for instance, Wayne mentioned, you know, they can spend more personal time with you versus how we're coming up on time up here. So let's just maybe skip around a little bit on these questions, because I want to make sure some key questions get answered. So I would like to go with, are there any small business goals where you struggle to find qualified vendors, like small business, disabled veterans, 8A, woman-owned, hub zone, LBE, any of those? Ada?
I'll turn that over to.
Okay.
Yes, I would say disadvantaged business enterprise. Again, the district does have the DBE program and the SBE program, but finding qualified DBEs, I'd like to see an increase in more DBE primes. I do want to mention that with Bonfire, there is a list of potential proposers and bidders. So please use that list to network. It's so important. I can't tell you how many times we've seen interested folks, but no one is bidding or submitting their proposals. So again, DBE is one that we look for, a certification that we look for. And in particularly, I know our marine ferry or marine construction industry we lack DBE or small businesses in that arena. And that has been the district's biggest challenge in finding DBE or SBE subs to team up with primes, because those contracts can be specialized projects. And so we do, I encourage DBEs to, if you're, that's not your niche, maybe, get into that market, because there's money to be had in that area.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
If there's something, a product or service you can offer, you don't offer, maybe consider getting into that market where those needs are not, where they're struggling to find vendors.
I can add to that. Here again, Wayne, the state of California. My unit is putting together a statewide emergency list. CAL FIRE has their own private list that, a fire is there, they need a water truck or whatever. Anyway, what we are doing in conjunction with all state agencies is to put a giant list together. And so if you have, it's supposed to be ready, I think in October is when they're projecting it. And obviously more information will be forthcoming as far as if you want to be on that list. And it's going to be for everything, not just for CAL FIRE, PPE, for COVID, whatever the emergency is, a tornado hits or an earthquake, whatever, anything, that is an emergency situation. Because what happens is, yes, we're in an emergency situation. It doesn't matter what certification you got. We're looking for qualifications. And that's why we didn't meet our 25% small business goal last year, because of the COVID-19 and the fires, because they were emergency situation buys, and the buyers went out and just bought. If it was coincidental if they were certified as a small business or DBE. So, this way we're trying to alleviate that problem. And, hopefully you'll be on that list, and, they'll call you if there is an emergency.
Okay, great. Let's see, who did not? Nina, did you go? Did you speak on this?
Well, I would say yes. We do struggle with certified small business DVBEs. But what you think about it, with the number of California businesses that we have, it's an abundance. But the businesses need to come forward and get state certification so that you're in e-procurement, so that we could utilize you. And like Wayne was saying, they're going to do an emergency list. But at this point, if you just go and get certified, it will help you, because we can pull you from that list. Because I can tell you, when you call me, I'm looking in e-procurement to see if you're certified. And if you're not, I'm asking you to go get certified and then come back and talk with me. So it's very important that you do get certified. And I'm going to emphasize that, because we're struggling to get our small businesses and our DVBEs and our subcontractors. So if you would just help us out here, and it's free, and it's going to take a little time, just go get certified. If you have any questions, you got Wayne's team there. You can contact me and I'll direct you to Wayne's team. I'll give you that information. We're here to help you. So don't make it hard for yourself, but make it easier for yourself and for us to find you and get certified. So we're not struggling, because there's too many small business and DVBEs businesses out there that are not certified, that can help us, and that can help us meet our small business goals and our DVB goals. But also, with you obtaining a contract, remember this, it helps the state of California. So it's a win-win for everyone. That's all I got to say on that.
Okay.
Can I throw something else in real quick?
Mm-hmm.
Our state certification is by far the easiest, the quickest way of getting certified. It may take you 30 minutes. If you are a DVBE, it's going to take longer, because we have to verify your DVB status, et cetera, et cetera. But generally speaking, for the small business, it's 30 minutes or less.
Right.
All of the other certifications, in particular the federal certifications, we're talking days, weeks, maybe months. So don't want to badmouth them, but the state is the one, it's the first one you should get, hands down.
And it's free. It's
Right.
Okay. Well, yes, the state certification is pretty simple. Wayne, Nina, any of those, anyone with the agency can help you with. The PTAC can also help you if you need to do that. Just get that started. And that's one of the things I always tell clients. If you want to do business with the state, if you qualify, you must get certified as a small business. That's the first thing, as Nina mentioned, they're going to look for. So make sure you take care of that. Any of us can help with that. I want to ask, skip around again. I want to ask, are there any common small purchases that your agency procures that do not require a formal bid or solicitation?
Okay.
Oh, let me field that one very quickly. For the city of Santa Rosa, we do have a micro cap. I can actually waive a bid anything under $10,000, but our standard cultural practice is spot buys. Anything under $5,000, we can go direct. The other thing I would remind people is work with your cooperative contracting programs as well. If you can get on, a co-op and have the ability to have been awarded a contract in that regard too, that is another platform that you can talk to cities and statewide agencies to continue to get a path directly in. So co-ops are important, and reach out to us directly. If you are in our region, we're okay doing that. We don't have a standard list, so that's a challenge. And I honestly oftentimes don't know how people are using their credit cards, or anything that doesn't go on a purchase order, we can't really see until after it's done. So 5,000 is our normal cap.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so as far as thresholds, our micro purchase threshold is 2,500. That would be non-competitive. For services, it can be up to 10,000. As far as the small purchases that do not require formal bid solicitation, we have facility maintenance tools and supplies such as cleaning agents, paper towels, toilet paper, soap, hand sanitizers, signage, pumps, brushes for bus wash racks, switches, graffiti remover, tools, uniforms for various trades, safety gear, nuts and bolts, ink cartridges, office supplies, software, service awards, inventory parts and materials.
This is Wayne. For us, we have what we call the small business DVB option and first policies. Basically anything up to 250,000 minus a penny for IT and non-IT goods and services, and up to 333,000 for public works. They do not have to be published. And so that's why you become dear friends with all of your advocates. They know what you can do. And literally it can be, you happen to call Nina today and she happens to be looking for whatever. Well, you're one of the two people that she has to contact. If she gets 2 quotes, you'd know by next Monday if you got it or not. It can be that simple.
Mhm.
It's so simple that a lot of times we use the small business DVB option. And thank you for mentioning that, Wayne.
Yeah.
And we use that for our, think about our quarterly toilet paper and paper towel order. Now, if you're interested in that, send me an email. That comes out quarterly, so it's never going to go away. But we use the small business option and we don't have to advertise. But let me give you a hint on it. They actually do advertise in e-procurement. They don't have to, but they do. But if you're not aware of e-procurement, start familiarizing yourself with e-procurement. And don't forget, certify yourself, because if you're not a certified small business DBBE, you cannot get into that procurement method. So that's why we're saying it's very important to get certified. It's free, it's easy breezy, like Wayne said, and we need you.
Okay, and with that, we're coming up on the top of the hour. I just want to run through some of the questions that we have in the chat or in the Q&A, as many as I can get to, and maybe some can kind of be combined. I'll just tell you though, one of the last questions I had was a key takeaway, and I think you've kind of covered that, which is get certified for one, get registered on your site, particularly if you use like a Bonfire or Planet Bids or something like that for the free bids through that agency. Get registered on a vendor list if you have that with the agency, to make sure you're notified of what's coming up. So let's move through to some of these questions I have in the Q&A. And well, actually, and James, there's a question here about how do I get my chat to update and show all the links that people say are there. I'm not sure about that one. So I'm gonna allow James to.
If I receive any links, I will include them in the email that I send up later today or tomorrow in order to follow up. All the documents will also be linked to Google Drive, public folder, and I'll share the links with everybody in the email as well as post it to our website. So any of you panelists who have not sent any documents or links, please do so.
Okay, thanks, James. I'll take just a quick, there was a question about what does a small business advocate do that was addressed to Wayne. And, the small business advocate, also Nina is a small business advocate as well, advocate for small businesses to get contracts. So being connected with the advocate for the agency, there is one for every agency, most every agency, correct? Unless, there's someone that is not there to fill that position, and you should get to know that person. That person, as Wayne already kind of mentioned, can help you with finding contract opportunities. Wayne, you wanted to say something?
Right. I was going to say that any agency that procures $100,000 or more must have an advocate. That's the rule.
Great. Thank you.
Could I also mention something as well? James does have this brochure, but if not, and if you could go on Golden Gate's website, again, click on doing business, and to the left, you'll see the Business Outreach Committee. There is a brochure that has the 26 Bay Area transit agencies contact information for all the small business advocates or DBE liaison officers for each of those agencies. So we're talking BART, Caltrans, AC Transit, Golden Gate, SMART, Marin Transit, all of the 26 agencies. So I highly recommend. It has their website, it has email addresses, and it also has direct telephone numbers. Those are all your civil rights small business advocates for those agencies. Please visit that brochure.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. I'm sure that's, like you said, going to be sent out with, as a reminder, with the slides after the presentation within the next day. So I'll take away the small business advocate question.
I just want to piggyback. Your small business advocate is for CDCR is your liaison between the department and yourself. So we're here to help you to navigate through the program, through any bumps in the roads that you may have, any questions that you have, and to guide you through other resources. So utilize us. As a statewide advocate for the department, I manage the program, but our department is so large, I can't do everything. So I have the advocate liaisons within the institutions and the medical facility and IT to help me. But if there's something you need, use your advocate for all the state agencies, because that's what we're here for, to help you navigate, guide you through the system and what you need.
So Nina, while I have you, I have a question that's really directed towards you. Do I have to specialize in one type of service? I'm interested in supplying services and products to jails and prisons. I also have a delivery courier business, and I have a partner that's in the construction industry. But
So we do
that?
construction. We do use couriers. Yes. So we do use those services. So send me an email again, and I'll guide you through that. Make sure that you're certified. I'll look, and if you're not, then I'll guide you through that. But look through Cali Procure, and again, our department code is 5225, and see on a daily basis, every other day, depending on how your workload is, and check and see what our solicitations are. Like I said at the beginning, in about 60 days, we're going to have our upcoming solicitations. So that will be on our website. Also, I can give you the advocate list so that you can do your introductions to our construction area and to the other entities that you want to do business with, or your other people want to do business with.
Okay, and here's a question for the panel. Is there any objection to receiving the price from the previous bid or contractor, and is this considered public information? Which, yes, it is, but where can this information be found?
For the city of Santa Rosa, we have a public records request website. So you would go to the city's website, request that information. We log that request in and supply it through that portal.
With the state of California, we have a database. It's called Skippers. It is our completed contracts going all the way back to December 2015. And the way you get there is you click Cali Procure on the top, our quick links. There are 4 options. It's the last one. You click on it, and you either can do a search by keyword, okay? Or at the very bottom, there's a button that says Advanced Search, and a UNSPSC screen comes up, and you put in a specific code. And then I tell people, go get a cup of coffee, go to the bathroom, walk your dog, because it's going all the way back to December of 2015. And so depending on how many, how many contracts, you could have 2,000 contracts depending on, what you're trying to search for. So I just tell people it's not going to be an instantaneous, it's showing up on your screen. So you've been warned.
For Golden Gate Bridge District, That request is also treated as a Public Records Act request. The requester can send the email request to me and I can forward it to our district secretary's office. They are the ones who handle the Public Records Act requests.
For CDCR, there's two things you can do, like Wayne mentioned, is the GGS skippers. And you can use the CDCR Public Records Act portal, which is on our website. And I can refer you to that. And that's new in the last, I think, in the last year. But those are two ways that you can obtain that information.
Okay. So, and someone asked a question about, does this mean they can't bid on state projects unless they can drive to Sacramento or a faraway county to attend a pre-bid meeting? And I think some of the pre-bid meetings, some of the panelists mentioned, and correct me if I'm wrong, that pre-bid meetings are being conducted virtually in some cases. So there's definitely opportunity there, but some agencies may go back to in-person. So there may be, you know, if it's a mandatory pre-bid meeting and you're interested in that bid, you would need to go if it's mandatory and it's in person. Anyone have anything to add to that?
Yes, read your solicitation and it will tell you whether it's in person or it's going to be virtual. So make sure you read that solicitation very carefully because it's going to be important to you.
We often have solicitations too where a pre-bid meeting isn't required. So again, I echo Nina, read that solicitation, and every once in a while, based on what the work is, I'll give an example. We recently did a bunch of elevator repairs. The pre-bid was mandatory, but it didn't have to be you. It could be your grandma representing your company, as long as somebody was there to walk through and make sure that they were physically able to sign that form. And so we understood many people weren't going to be able to drive in. So it was a simple matter of having somebody show up at that point and act as your representative.
Great. And just a couple more. And what website do we go to get certified? And I believe that's probably directed towards, well, it could be all of them. State of California, any agency, local agency, or agency, transportation agency here have a specific site that they would like the participants to go to get registered.
This is Wayne. For us, it's caliprocure.ca.gov.
Cali Procure, please.
For Golden Gate, we again accept DBE certification and the SBE. So of course, what Wayne and Nina mentioned, but also that BOC brochure does list out the California Unified Certification Program, certifying agencies that do DBE certification. And so please take a look at that brochure, and it identifies, I believe it identifies the certifying agencies. If you have questions, just email me and I will help you get you to where you need to be.
Okay. Okay. And the last question I'm just going to answer is, I think someone, Madhu is asking about what is, I believe he means DBE, and is disadvantaged business enterprise. So it's referring to minority and women-owned small businesses. All right. And I'll turn this back over to James to wrap it up. I know we're a little late.
All right, thanks everyone, and thanks for those of you who stuck around. I know we're ending a little bit late. We just had so much wisdom to fit in so little time. I want to very quickly just point out that we have a satisfaction survey that would be really great if you guys could just fill out on your way out. And I also wanted, and I put that in the chat so you can find that there. Also wanted to go over a couple of the upcoming events. This is a part of this webinar is part of a 4-part series. We have one more left next week, a week from today, Matchmaker Prep number 4. And this is for the federal agencies. So same basic idea, but instead of state and local, we'll have federal. And very relevantly to all of you who joined today, we have 2 webinars that we partnered with the California DGS, home of Wayne Gross here. And some of his colleagues will be presenting on how to do business with the state of California. So if you want to dig your teeth into that more, please do that. And of course, all of these webinars are leading up to, webinars in this 4-part series are leading up to the Matchmaker on July 20th. It's an all-day event, free to join. You can get one-on-one meetings with folks the likes of these that you hear today. So thank you very much. And unless there's anything else, let's go ahead and wrap it up. And you'll receive all the documents from me later today.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone. It's been a
Thank you.
pleasure.
Thank
All right,
you.
have a good one.
Thank you very much.
Joining.
Bye.
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 Bye.